it's starting to get to me, Sammy, as a Mariners fan. It really is. Like over and over and over and over and over again, I feel like the organization of the Seattle Mariners disrespects the fans, plain and simple.
Okay, and this is a good transition, George, because the players also feel disrespected, and I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why, man.
Do you like that transition noise?
Yeah, I did.
I'm playing around. George, do you want me to tell you why?
Tell me why.
Boom. I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why, brother.
All right.
Spit it to me.
I'm going to start playing with these noises more often. After the trade deadline, I'm going to give you a couple examples of things that have happened. After the trade deadline, Cal Raleigh came out, as we all know, and said they traded Paul, and we feel like that was kind of an opportunity to either pack it in for the season or to prove them wrong. And who's them? The front office, Jerry and Justin, or Jerry, John Stanton, and Justin, and whoever else is working in the front office.
It's so nice when you have to prove your GM wrong.
Was that sarcasm?
Yeah, it's sarcasm. Like, you got fucking screw the GM. Studio audience, we should relax. Let us finish, guys.
Let him finish his point. That was funny, though. But
was good.
wait, I wasn't done. Before you get to the screw the GM stuff, just let me finish who else made points. Today, Julio posted on Instagram, making it happen, regardless. And like with chaos balls, the thing. Regardless, I feel like there's something to that. And then Saucedo, the reliever, posted on his story another one with with a DJ Khaled gift that says they don't want you to win. And I feel like I saw this tweet here on Mariners Twitter said by Brittany Ann 08. Said, regardless, they don't want you. It sure seems like the guys took exception to Jerry and Justin's deadline moves. And I think that's kind of what's been happening. It seems like some of the players really are taking exception to the moves that happen at the deadline. And like you said, they're sitting here saying like, all right, so essentially, like you're Cal Raleigh, you're Julio Rodriguez, you're these guys that were on the team last year, especially. It's like, so we made the playoffs last year, won the wild card series, and quite frankly, we're a Robbie Ray pitch away from winning Game 1 in Houston. We went 18 innings in Seattle against Houston. We're a couple plays here or there from potentially going to the ALCS. Yeah. And we added a batter too, and some guys didn't work out but those are the guys you added, GM and ownership. Like you added Colton Wong because you wanted to be cheap. You added AJ Pollock because you wanted to be cheaper. And now you're going to pretty much tell us like you're giving up on our season. Like the same guys who are still here, like as an athlete, that's what you're thinking. It's like, we can do this, but like you're pretty much saying like we don't want to fully buy into you guys.
Exactly.
So they have to take that into exception.
Absolutely, and that's why I really do feel like if you're like I said earlier, like the players are like going against a general manager, like they don't need to feel like that. I mean, that's just that's bad general managing, plain and simple. Like Dipoto needs to start getting. I mean, I know Twitter's starting to finally give him some heat, and people are starting to question like what he is, but like it's time. Like there needs to be some urgency here. I watch Premier League soccer, Sammy, a lot, as you know. I'm wearing a Tottenham Hotspur kit. Like we need to act like Premier League fans when they fucking protest and they just don't show up to games, or they go right outside the game with like picket fence and protest. Like at some point you need to make your voice heard as fans that this shit doesn't cut it anymore. Like it doesn't cut it. We want to win. We're the only team in Major League Baseball history to never make the World Series. There's only one team, Sammy, one, and it's us. So at some point the fans got to put their like, what do they say? Put their leg down and tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, can't tell them to fuck off because
doesn't do anything.
Everyone's still gonna buy the day. Oh, City Connect jerseys. These are fucking sick.
Me included.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, their damn revenues work. And the great thing about what they're doing, and by great I mean it's fucked up, but like the great thing about what Jerry and John. Mostly, I'm going to blame John Stanton, the owner, because Jerry also probably has to placate to what the owner wants, right? The great thing about what they do is, like, this year, like I just told you, last year we were the highest revenue team in baseball, highest profit. Sorry, not revenue, highest profit, okay? This year, they're like, well, if we completely sell, we might lose some money. This. Like, they were willing pretty much to keep Teoscar, in order to keep the fans happy, make it look like, I think I saw your tweet, it was like, make the fans kind of believe that we're still in this. Like, instead of selling them because we might not get them next year through free agency, like, we're still here to win. And we're
taking a risk.
And they are. And that's the thing. That's like, today's attendance was 37,000 on a Wednesday day game, George.
I know.
Against the Red Sox. And we won. And that was our 4th series win in a row. And it put us 3 games behind the wild card and only 5.5 behind the division. And guess what? We play Texas and Houston 2 or 3 more times this year. So if you keep winning every damn series like we have been for the last month, and we were 17-8 in the month of July, all of a sudden you might be in the playoffs. And like you said,
that's why it's so frustrating.
No, but this is the problem, is like you said from the beginning. The problem is that we might actually be good enough to get to that point where we might even, I'm not saying we're going to win the division, but there's literally a chance. Like, there is a 20, 30% chance that if you sweep Texas or Houston in 2 series, you're in first place. And with all that, the GM or the ownership or whoever it may be making the decisions is like, give away our closer.
Exactly.
And let's not buy anything else at the deadline.
Not like we blew a game 1 in Houston last year on a walk-off home run because we didn't have a legit closer ready to go in a playoff game.
Yeah, and put in Robbie Ray.
So, yeah, a little frustrated as a Mariner fan, Sammy. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but that was like the weird thing is there's frustration with like the added happiness at the end. I just went on a rant about how we can win the division this year and how we've won so many series and the vibes are changing. But it's like at the same time, you're like, if I come to a point where the Mariners are a game out of the playoffs and at the end of the season, I'm like on whatever, like in the middle of September, we're like, okay, we're 1 game out. And like we friggin' put in there's guys that they've been calling up people left and right, like bullpen guys. They've just been using random people. Right. They all work out. I don't know, because of Jerry's luck, whatever it may be. They produce good talent from relievers. But there's going to be somebody that gives up like a game-winning home run, a walk-off in a moment that would have put us like in the division. And I'm going to be like, that's the moment. But that might not happen either. That's what's weird.
Yeah, we'll find out, man. But yeah, that's why my frustration lies. Like, as excited as you just sounded about the team, winning 4 straight series, if we were buyers at the deadline rather than standing pat or being sellers at the deadline, you'd be way more excited heading into this like stretch run here with 3. What we got, the Angels 3 or 4 games starting tomorrow. I think a 4-game series of the Angels.
4 games, I believe. Yes, yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Yep. Because
we don't have a day off. If we had a day off, it'd be 3 games. We don't have a day off, so there's no way they end the series on a Saturday.
Yeah, so it's a 4-game series with the Angels coming up,
which is like cool timing because we just passed them today. So if you win a game or 2, you're 2 games out of the Angels, but they're not who I'm worried about, regardless. So, 3.5 out of the division. 5.5 out of the division. 3.5 out of the wild card, and this is big because also if the Angels beat us 2 out of 3, we should stop talking about anything possible.